foundation in college life. But the difference that the author, Shadrach, is pointing out is that in order to have a firm foundation, one needs to have a personal relationship with Jesus. So the question is, how can we have a personal relationship with Jesus? As you know, for the spring break trip, we're going to D.C., so I have some DCs. Remember, in order to remember how can we have a personal relationship with Jesus. So the three I thought up of were, first you need to make a decision based on Christ. And what that means is we have to commit our time and our energy and our whatever we're involved with, we have to know that we're giving this to Jesus. And the second thing is we need deep cleaning, based on John 13. It means we need to remember that Jesus is the one who cleans us. He's the one who makes us a part of His kingdom's work. And the third one is a daily commitment. And this is simply just things like daily bread, daily Bible reading. These things help us to keep connected to Jesus. Okay, so one thing that stood out to me in the chapter, one thing that I personally learned that I can share is that it really takes sacrifice to lay a firm foundation. I really experienced this in high school when I was involved in the Christian club. In order to have a personal relationship with Jesus, we really have to sacrifice our time and energy. That means like sometimes we're going to have to make decisions where we have to sacrifice studying time for time with Jesus, just personal one-on-one time, just Bible reading and prayer one-on-one with Jesus. Sometimes we have to expend our energy in creating relationships with other people, and by building relationships with other people, we can lead them closer to God. And that really takes time and energy, and everybody here knows that. Another thing that I realized I had to sacrifice was pride. That's a huge one because everybody experiences pride in a different way. The thing that we have to know is that pride, we have to sacrifice it to God. And what this means is we have to really humble ourselves and put it into God's hand. We have to sacrifice anything we think we have in control. We have to just give it to God because, as I get in my last point, our firm foundation is in Jesus, and it's not in our own capabilities. That's what we have to sacrifice with pride. The fourth one that I remembered, or I thought of, was personal goals. That means sometimes, even in the heat of the moment when you're engaged in either a really good conversation or really, like heartfelt, and sometimes it can be a depressing conversation with somebody. You have to remember, you have to sacrifice your personal goals. You don't want to make an agenda when you're discussing something with somebody. For example, you don't want to press on, well, the answer is Jesus, or this is the answer. You don't want to press down the personal goal that you have in mind, but you have to just sacrifice it and really pray when you're in a conversation with that person. Just sacrifice your personal goal and say, Jesus, Holy Spirit, give me the power to lead this person closer to Jesus however you can. And this sacrifice, it's worth it in the end because this is how you build up your foundation. And last slide. So the takeaway, we want to have a foundation for life that's based on Christ. The verse that I took from was Luke 6:48. They are like a man building a house who dug down deep and laid the foundation on rock. When a flood came, the torrent struck that house, but could not shake it because it was well built. Jesus is the rock upon which we build our life.